Hi, my name is Soham Sohoni, and I'm an assistant professor with the engineering program at the Polytechnic campus at Arizona State University.
And my name is Sean Jordan. I'm an associate professor of engineering also at the Polytechnic campus at Arizona State University.
And we co-teach the embedded systems project class, which is a junior level class, and the course number is EGR 314.
And the purpose of this class is really to expose students to a deep embedded systems experience where they're working with microcontrollers, which are kind of like a brain, and sensors and actuators, and linking all of those things together into a system. What makes our course unique is that we take that embedded systems content, we fuse it with elements of the maker movement where students are prototyping and eventually going and sharing their projects at a maker fair, and then also bring an entrepreneurial mindset. And when you bring all of those things together, then what we really have is a product design course where electrical and robotics engineers are designing a product. Where we start with this is a typical problem definition that you might do in an engineering design process, but we actually back it up one more step and say, okay, what is your project idea? Who are your customers or your customer segment? And what are the value propositions that you have for that customer segment? So we ask students to develop a business model canvas around their project, go out and do customer discovery. And we did a customer discovery dinner where we brought customers to the students so that they could further flesh out their canvas. And then from there, once they have a fully fleshed out canvas, then they convert that into a problem definition and criteria and constraints and move on with their design process, which typically goes through a block diagram, choosing their major components, going through and prototyping subsystems, doing a design review that not only is working on the technical side, but also is evaluating the human side. So we bring customers back in at that point as well. And then eventually they move forward toward a fully functioning prototype by the end of the semester.
Right. And so what inspired us really to do this was both Sean and I have some experience working with the iCore for Learning program, which was jointly done by the National Science Foundation and the American Society for Engineering Education. And that's where we learned a lot about integrating customers or taking their inputs into account by doing a bunch of customer interviews ourselves. And we've applied that to our research, but also now to our coursework. And so that's what got us into all of this.
Yeah, well, and I mean, I think being part of iCore and now a part of the Keen Network has really shifted the way that I look at the way I teach engineering, because it really says, okay, technology is important, but it's not just about the technology, it's about the context. And I think that's what we're trying to get through in our course.
Yeah. Some of the surprising things that happened as we taught this course were, for one thing, when we were looking at the final reports that were turned in by the students, one of the things we've asked them to do in the past as well is to do a user manual for their product, whatever they've designed. And this time around, because I think we had the customer engagement at all the different levels, right from the start to in between in the design review, as well as at the end, the user manuals were just outstanding. So I saw some students had actually put a lot of diagrams on how to assemble the product, and then a lot of use cases were built. They explained how to play the game, what might happen. I even saw some where they said, call this number for customer service if your product doesn't work, or they had their email address up there, which is amazing that they really were thinking about it as a product and not just a course project.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I think in looking at how students responded to the entrepreneurial mindset piece, I really heard nothing but positive remarks. And even though some might perceive that it's extra work because, oh, they're here just for the technical piece and they don't care about the context, they don't care about the user. But overall, the feedback that I got was really excellent. I mean, particularly after the customer discovery dinner, there were probably about a dozen students out of our 110 who stayed around pretty late after the dinner, just buzzing about how much they had learned from this experience. And it was cool to feel that kind of buzz in the class.
Yeah, they were totally on board.
Yeah.
That's the feeling I got. And so some of the ways we can take this further is to look at all the entrepreneurship and innovation activities that go on at ASU. And also outside of ASU, there's national competitions and such. And one thing we thought about doing was next time around, aligning some of the assignments that we have or the deadlines for those assignments with the competitions that are going on at campus. so that students can take the assignment itself, maybe work a little bit more on it, and take it to a pitch day or venture devils or whatever else that's going on. And that way they can integrate that into what we're doing in the course with what's going on in the E+I universe at ASU. Another thing that comes to mind is just making sure that at least a few of the really good product ideas make it into a capstone course, because this is a junior level course.
Right.
And so if we do a capstone, which is a very high likelihood this time around, we have some sponsors lined up who just want to work with our students and get the product that they designed this time into a more robust, workable product, which they can actually install in their escape room, for example. And that will give them one more year to work on this idea, develop it further for the customer segment that they aimed for, and really come out with a finished product as opposed to just a prototype or something like that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.